When a parent decides not to tell their child that they're dyslexic because they're afraid that knowing that could be limiting to the child, it's actually kind of counterproductive. Because by not knowing it, often you'll end up being limited because you don't know, because you don't realize, oh, there are tools, there are resources, there are supports that would make a huge difference in my life. In the argument so often is, well, they'll just learn how to work harder. That's not usually the thing that many dyslexic individuals have to learn. Like, we don't have to learn how to work harder. That's just something that we end up having to do either way. But when we miss out on support and resources and tools, and even having an explanation for why certain things feel like they're harder, or why I have to spend so much time on this when it doesn't always feel like my peers do, like when we miss out on that explanation, that can be really painful. That can actually be limiting when we start to develop our sense of self or our belief about our abilities, and we're like, well, I don't know, I just don't feel like I can measure up to what everybody else is doing. And that's why it's so important to talk about it. If you have a child who's dyslexic, maybe you're dyslexic too, like, make it a part of the conversation. Talk about it as like, hey, this is something that exists. This is something that's part of our lives. This is something that impacts the way that we function. And being dyslexic, doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean you're unintelligent or incapable. It just means your brain interacts with language differently. And there are resources that exist to support you in that. There are tools that you can use to help. There are interventions that you can get to actually help with reading, to help with spelling. And it's so helpful when we're actually able to talk about it openly. So I get it. I get the fear that if you tell them this, it's going to be like this crutch that's going to limit them. But trust me, it does not have to be that way. And it is not that way, especially if you set it up as like, hey, this is a thing. Let's talk about this. Let's look for resources. Let's look for support. Let's figure out how we're going to deal with this.